My name is Hannah, and this is my beauty budget. Hey y'all, so I just filmed a good old-fashioned chit-chat get ready with me. I applied this makeup look, which has kind of been my go-to lately, and I used a lot of the products that have been my go-tos lately, and it's kind of like the general slightly smudgy, glossy aesthetic that I've been going for lately. So a lot of you have been asking for me to demonstrate like the gloss all across method and demonstrate my application of the Aaron's Face with concealer. So I did all of that in this video. And I also chitted and chatted. If I remember correctly, I talked about my feelings a lot, and then I talked about my schedule this weekend, which is kind of exciting. I'm doing something unusual. I'll have already done it, or I'll be doing it when you watch this video, but I debriefed you about that. And then I talked about this really amazing drink blend, like kind of powdered drink mix that I've been into for my morning drink. So if you want to hear about all that, you are literally in the right place. Let's go ahead and get into the meat, the breakfast meat of the video. Okay, chatty, get ready. Here we go. I have on my face 3 things. Vitamin C serum, which I always put on right away first thing in the morning. I also have on top of that a tiny bit of oil. It's actually this oil from Good Molecules, the ultra hydrating face oil, which is mostly sea buckthorn oil, my favorite face oil. So I'm really grateful that they sent this to me. So I put like 2 drops of that and pressed it in, and then the sunscreen on top of that, my favorite Aaron's Face's mineral peptide sunscreen. So that's what we're starting with. And I'm going to try to tell you what I use on my face during this, but I'm hoping that I can get it together to have this be a chatty get ready with me. So I'll sort of tell you what I'm doing, but I'm also just going to be chatting throughout. And the first thing I'll do once I start getting ready, which is what I'm going to do now, the first thing I'll do is kind of explain the logistics of this filming, like why I'm doing this now. Not because it's super interesting, but just because that's what's going on. And isn't that what you do in a chit chat get ready with me? Talk about what's going on. So I'm gonna put I'm gonna put the VDL Lumilayer primer on most of my face, but my chin's looking particularly, well, my chin's looking red enough that I'm gonna pop a tiny bit of the Clarins SOS primer just on the bottom half of my face, which is something that I've been doing a little bit lately. I love this primer and it's almost out. Anyway, here's what's going on. It's Thursday. This will probably go up on Sunday, because tomorrow I'm going to post my check-in video that I filmed yesterday and edited. And as you'll know if you've seen that video, I kind of opened up about just some of my less attractive angst about being on YouTube, and so I'm feeling really insecure about that, and that might be partly why I wanted to film a chit chat get ready with me, but that seems like a weird impulse. I would think that having overexposed myself, I would want to close down. And as I said in that video, I've kind of been feeling sort of like I've been feeling this like don't look at me feeling. All right, this is the Lumilayer primer. You'll be able to see how glowy it is, although I think I've put this on camera before. I think I pumped out too much because I'm distracted because I'm trying to talk and do things at the same time. What was I saying? Anyway, I keep having thoughts about the stuff I talked about in that video, and I don't know if I'll really talk that much about it in this video, maybe intermingled, but one of the thoughts that I've had is just that I wonder if being more open and being more fluid like this, and then having to kind of take the consequences of that and grow a thicker skin in kind of one painful growth spurt, it might actually be fallout. I didn't think about this until after I had filmed that video, but it might actually be fallout from having upped my channel production. Because as I talked about a couple of months ago, I was really inspired by Angelica's visit to just be a little bit less edited on YouTube and also to be able to produce more content. And that's been really amazing just for me and my ability to work on this platform, and it's been really healthy for my channel. It's helped my channel get over the slump that it was in for a while in terms of growth, and I passed 25K, which is really exciting, priming my eyes. So I'm excited, but being more productive in that way, being more fluid and open, and therefore allowing myself to be more productive, has the exact consequence that I was describing in that video, which is that it's it's something to get used to. For me, with my personality, it's taking some getting used to, and upon reflection, it's actually not that surprising that it's uncomfortable. You know, it's like the first burst of it was like, woohoo, I'm being so productive, I'm being myself, and then it doesn't surprise me that within the ensuing months I would go through periods of kind of just shrinking discomfort around it. It's just growing pains. And then the other consequence, the other thing that I sort of put together after unleashing myself on you in that video, the other consequence is that producing more content for me means that I have to branch out. I have to start making more normal kinds of beauty videos, some that are just a little bit less laden with philosophy, or even in some cases kind of incisive intelligence. I mean, I try to always be myself in the videos. I try to always offer what it is I have to offer. But sometimes it's just like, look at this makeup, isn't it pretty? And sometimes it's just like, this is the PR that I got sent from Yes Style. I'm just showing it to you. Like, I have, in order to produce 5, 6, sometimes 7 videos a week, I have to start including more videos like that, and I've been enjoying doing that. I'm not just like reluctantly joining the masses in terms of producing beauty videos. I've loved branching out and doing different kinds of content, and it does make sense that there would be some backlash from that. I totally understand that, and I empathize with it. I understand that people would see, you know, a couple of videos coming up that's just me talking about makeup, and they would be like, wait, what happened to Hannah? We thought that she only ever talked about anti-consumerist philosophy on her channel, which has never actually been true, but I can understand why, like, the increase in content and the diversifying of my content would be a little bit jarring for some people. So I understand what has happened. I'm using the Alter Ego Sahara palette. It's the dupe for the Biba palette. I really want to do like a neutral bronze look today, just like blown out, smudgy, like icky, sticky, sooty thumb eyes. And so I'm going to go in with this color bronze. I've been doing this a lot lately, and just put it all over. And then I might go in with maybe some of these red shades on a brush, just because I'd like to keep it more, I don't want it to lean like orange. We'll see. I'm starting with this. I think that the thing that in that video, I was just like, I've been having all these feelings. I feel over-examined. I feel unfairly assessed. And, you know, just in like the past 24 hours, I've been like doing what I always do in time, which is to contextualize the roller coaster of our emotions and sort of spiritual states, to contextualize it with like the larger scope of how my life has been changing. And so I've sort of been like, okay, so I ranted about feeling these ways. Now, like, maybe what's causing, like, where those feelings come from? They're coming from somewhere. It's not just random. And my channel has changed a lot in the past couple of months. I've started producing like twice as much content as I ever have before. That cannot not have massive consequences for me energetically, because it's both energetically in terms of my output of energy, and energetically in terms of like the nature of my interaction with this platform. It makes sense that it would take time to get used to that. Anyway, I'm sorry that I burdened you guys with that, if it was a burden to you. I know some of you are really caring, and you see me talking about those painful feelings and you feel for me, and I'm sorry if I, in that video, caused anyone like to worry or to like feel bad or something. I've kind of been like having these feelings. Just again, it's like more the layers of feelings. Like, maybe I shouldn't have included that stuff. Maybe I should keep that stuff to myself. Maybe nobody cares. Maybe people are gonna think it's dumb. Maybe it will stress people out. Maybe it will make people judgy. And then I'm, you know, and so it's like, I felt it so strongly when I was filming it, and now I feel weird about it, but I'm gonna post it anyway. And now I'm filming this video where I talk about the feelings about it, and then I have all these feelings like, maybe I'm doing it wrong, I'm doing this wrong, I should be curating my content better, I should be holding my tongue, I should be more professional or whatever, and I just have to let it go. Like, this is YouTube. This isn't a critical essay that I'm writing. This isn't a professionally produced television show about ideas. It is literally YouTube. It is literally me. So it's just weird. It's just weird. Like, even after more than a year and a half, I'm still getting used to the idea of being myself and like revealing the tides of my state of being. And it's weird that it's taking me time to get used to it, because I mean, it's not weird that it's taking me time to get used to it, but it's funny to me that it's so challenging to comprehend, because this kind of content, this sort of natural we're spending time together content, is what I love the most from my YouTube friends. Like, I love watching Lauren or Samantha or Lacey talk about how things are right now, and feel and be real and be flawed on camera, because I mean, that's why this platform is special. It's like we can connect in these real ways, feel each other, rather than, I don't know, well, I mean, maybe I feel like that's why small YouTube is so special, because it does, in some ways, we're able to like break through the illusion of like the perfect life on the other side of the camera that social media so often contains. And I feel like by being unbuttoned like this, it's maybe like my best shot at having my channel be like a healing place, instead of a place that continues to promote the fantasy of like perfection and ease that's so poisonous. It's like the fantasy, the idea that other people's lives are like that is so poisonous. It's like the most poisonous aspect of social media. But I want to mobilize my channel to be as healing as possible. So as much as it is uncomfortable for me, it's like, this is that. This is it. All right. Oh my God, what are we doing? We're getting ready. You know what I want? I want to use the gold palette. So I shop my stash for this. I've been using it a lot, and I've been using this shade so much, Kava, which is like the bronze glittery one that I have like a huge bit of pan in there right now. But I think I'm gonna go in with the white one, because again, like, I don't want this to get too warm. I'm gonna go in with this like really brilliant white gold one and put it basically all over, kind of as a topper, but especially around that the unblended place where I'm trying to like blend the bronze into my skin tone. And I'm actually kind of using my finger with the glitter to blend. All right, now I'm gonna go back with a little brush into the original bronze shadow and sort of like mess around with that blended line just to try to get it more blended. And I'm gonna put the glitter on my lower lash line as well and smudge it out. I'm gonna mix like the glitter and the bronze on my lower lash line and kind of smudge it out pretty far down. I basically, like, on a daily basis, just going to work in my building and stuff, I like to look like I might have slept in my eye makeup. Like, that's kind of what we're going for right now. Like, for some reason, even though it was a Wednesday night last night, I went to a rock club and lived my best life, and then I slept in my eye makeup, but I still made it to work the next morning. That's the aesthetic. Packing that glitter on the inner corner too. All right, let's stick with that. By the way, I keep saying glitter, but it's not a glitter. It's, you know, it's these, it's this Natasha Denona formula that I'm really partial to. It's like a really, really fine, obviously eye-safe glitter in a clear base. So it's incredibly wet look and sheeny, but it shears out without creating too much, without like pigment underneath it. These two shades in this palette are that formula, and none of the other ones are. They're the only two that I have in that formula. I don't know if she has others. There's one in the Star palette that was like an early, maybe like a prototype version of that, but the one that I have in the Star palette doesn't perform as well as these two. I need to change my camera battery. For some reason I didn't put a fresh one in when I started this mess of a chit chat get ready with me. Let's have an ad break, and then I'll do like mascara and complexion and everything when we get back. Okay, we're back from the ad break, which the ad may or may not have played for you. Don't worry about it. And I know sometimes the ad plays like at a weird spot, not where I put it. And I know it's like, it's a catch-22, like I'm calling attention to the fact that I've placed an ad, and I think that sometimes it's better for creators to like act more hands-off about that. I don't know. I just don't like the idea of being interrupted by an ad. And I also have gotten enough positive feedback about putting those ad breaks in it that I feel like it's worth the fact that it doesn't always go smoothly to, I don't know, just err on the side of it being a little bit of a tidier experience to watch my videos. So I'm gonna keep going with it like this, at least for the time being. I feel like it's working for me. And thank you for those of you who have inquired. It has made a difference. And when I finally get around to filming my stupid channel changes video, I'll update you about this. But having the middle ads in my video has made a much bigger difference than I expected in my AdSense revenue. It's still not like, you know, spectacular, but it's definitely comfortable, and it's starting to feel like more commensurate with the amount of work that I put into the channel than it much more than it did before. I still feel like I'm probably working for pretty low pay given how many hours I put in, but it just makes it's made a huge difference. So that's been awesome. All right, continuing to get ready. I always struggle to talk and get ready, and I also forgot what I was gonna talk about next. How about I go ahead and put on mascara, and hopefully I'll remember. So I've still been like scraping the dry scrapes out of this Monsieur Big, which is completely kaput. Like I really should stop using it because there's almost nothing left, but psychologically it's like helping me transition to my other mascaras because I feel like it provides like a volume at the base of my lashes, and it provides something for the newer, wetter mascaras that I'm using to cling to. Oh, I do remember. I remember what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about my schedule this weekend and like why I'm filming this when I'm filming it. So I just realized as I was talking and applying this that it's completely kaput. It is no longer offering any kind of volumizing or anything. I'm putting it in my empties right now. And this one, which is the Volumatic, I've been layering it on top of that one all of this time because it's so good, but it started out quite wet. And I think at this point it's probably dry enough to hold its own because I like to put like a drier mascara underneath a wetter mascara so that my lashes don't all stick together. But this one, it's ready. It's ready to be the star. It's ready to hold down the fort. I'm gonna fast forward through the mascara application because it's so weird, and then I'll tell you about my schedule. Okay, my eyes are a little watery, but we'll live. This is real life. It's how it goes. So here's what's happening. I'm filming this on Thursday, but it'll probably go up on Sunday. And right after I film this, so it's the daytime. Usually I work on writing first thing in the morning, then go to the studio and do the sewing work that I need to do that day, and then I come home and film after Joe comes home for work. So for lunch. So Joe usually comes home for lunch, and then when he goes back to work, I come home. He has like a late-ish lunch. So I usually come home like maybe at 3 or 4 and film a bunch before he comes home. I film a bunch and then I start making dinner, and then he usually comes home like in time for dinner. So I usually have that like filming window. But today, I have a ton of work to do at the studio. Like I have to finish more than I usually have on a Thursday, and I just know that when I get over there, I'm going to be working like probably through dinner time. Like I'm going to be working late tonight, and by the time I get back from that work after it's finished, Joe will be home, so I won't be able to film without him here. And it's just awkward because we live in a 1-bedroom, we live in a studio, so it's better to film when he's not here. So I'm filming myself getting ready to go to work this morning. He's already at work, and I'm filming myself getting ready to go to work to get a video that I can put up on Sunday. And then probably after I get ready with this makeup, I'll film a new makeup releases that can go up on Saturday. So I'll have my weekend set because this is like really weird, sort of embarrassing thing that I'm doing, but I am checking myself into a hotel this weekend to work on a writing project because I need to keep getting ready while I talk about this. So this is the combo I've been using a lot in my face lately. It's the Aaron's Faces Concealer and the Touche Eclat, the regular Touche Eclat, which is a little bit lighter, and it helps kind of lighten up the color of it. And it also, the Aaron's Faces one is just very, very emollient and has really good coverage. So I put like a tiny bit of this because I love that dewy, emollient, nourishing finish. But then I use this to kind of like sheer it out and lighten it up a little bit. So I'm going to do that just with a little brush. Anyway, if you've been following me for a long time, you might remember that last year, every so often I went away to an artist colony, to like a writer's retreat at an artist colony. And for the past several years, up until this year, I've taken advantage of the fact that these places exist, like artist colonies, where if you are a working artist of some kind, you can apply to go and, you know, they give you a studio space to work and they feed you. So you're able to like work in isolation without being distracted and without having to take care of yourself, like by cooking and stuff. And that has been just like precious to me. So I try to preserve my writing schedule, which is most mornings. I wake up, I get ready, I work on writing either at home or at a coffee shop, and then I go, like I said, I go do the rest of my day. So I try to get some writing done every day, but especially as I ramp up my work on YouTube and depending on what's going on with the business, it's not always possible. I don't always get in like 4 or 5 mornings of writing a week. On top of which, I just realized that, so what I was trying to say was I usually do write almost every day as part of my work, even though I'm rarely, I mean, some of it, the grant writing work is paid, but working on trying to develop projects that might eventually help my writing career, that's not paid. I do that every day, but it's not enough because there's a kind of thinking that I'm able to do when I'm alone for several days at a time, where no one's really seeing me, judging me, looking at me, not having to like get myself together for people. I mean, at artist colonies, I would, you know, have dinner with the other artists and stuff, but still, it's just this very artificially relaxed environment in terms of all of the usual stressors of life, and I'm able to have my work be the only problem that I have to solve. And I just know from having that experience time and time again over the past several years, maybe 5 times scattered over the past 2 or 3 years, that I need those little breaks to make certain strides and to get like to do huge pushes, to get huge chunks of work done. And it's not just about the work itself, it's like about the thinking. It's about freeing up time to do the thinking, which is just hard to do when my everyday life is like running full force. I think that's fine for my face. I definitely have some blemishes because yesterday I tried this white milk cushion from Yes Style again. I've tried it several times and I always get these little tiny bumps, and I keep trying it again and hoping that I won't, and I keep getting them. So I tried this again yesterday. I love the way it looks, but I always end up getting these little tiny bumps. But I'm not gonna spot conceal them. I just don't care today. We're leaving it like that. I am gonna like bronze my neck a little bit. So I'm using my Kevyn Aucoin Neo highlighter in Sahara. So this year, the thing about those artist colonies is that it takes a lot of planning to plan around them. Like, especially with my YouTube channel, pre-filming, and then really also with the clothing business, making sure I have enough sewing done in advance to get away. And you have to apply to a lot of them to get approved for a couple of them. So I was always spending time. I was constantly, like for the past 3 or 4 years, I was constantly applying to artist residencies. And then when I got accepted to one, I would like do all of this work to schedule around it and set it up. And I'm not sorry, because, you know, then it was all worth it in the end, because being able to go, do I want to put this on my cheeks today? I really wanted to show you my gloss all across situation. So I'll start with that, and then I'll go in with a little bit of this powder if I feel like it. I'm going to use this Halika New Drop in Bronzed Honey. It's from Yes Style as well. So I decided not to do it this year. I was like, I need a break. I need a break from constantly applying to them. And I would like to not have to frantically schedule around these like 10-day trips twice a year. And I was like, I'll find a way to get the time that I need and space that I need to do my work without that. I'll find a way to do it here. So I was able to go to a house that is owned by in Ventura, I think. It's on the beach, and it's owned by the mother-in-law of one of my close friends. And that was it. That was great. I mean, I only went for 4 days, so it was a smaller trip, but I was able to kind of tap back into the way that I work in my mind, the way that my mind works when I'm totally alone. I was able to spend the whole time working, and just not loneliness, but that aloneness, that isolation, that kind of steeping in my own juices is just really important to me. So I was able to do that like over a month ago. And I was very grateful because they allowed me to go to the house. Like I didn't have to pay for it. But I just realized that I needed something like that again. And I decided to just check myself into a hotel and create that space for myself here. It's definitely, I feel a little bit uncomfortable about spending the money. I mean, it's not like a ton of money. Like I got a good deal. There was like a discount on it on this hotel. I searched around a lot, but it's still money that I don't need to spend technically. And so I feel a little bit funny about it because I just don't think of myself as someone who just up and goes to a hotel for no reason. But it's not no reason. And the truth is that it's something that I would never be able to do. It's yet another thing that I would never have been able to do if I hadn't been budgeting so strictly. Because the money that I'm spending to go to this hotel is money that I would have spent away already on clothes and makeup if I hadn't changed my lifestyle. So I feel good about it. It's really exciting to be able to take care of my artistic side in this way, this very practical way that requires money. And I do have a big project that I'm trying to make progress on, and I'll be totally focused on that project all weekend long in total isolation. And so I'm having to like prepare. I mean, when you watch this on Sunday, I'll still be there. I'll still be like there working, and I'll probably have woken up in the hotel room and grabbed my computer and like continued working away, because that's what I tend to do. I just like let myself be a total non-scheduled slob whose only job is to write when I'm in those situations. So I'm excited about it and a little bit daunted because I feel like I set aside the time, so I have to be productive. It's like this challenge I've set for myself. Like I have to do good work this weekend because otherwise it will all have been a waste. Not really, you know, but that's how I'm like motivating myself and thinking of it. So that is why I'm filming this video on a Thursday morning before work, and that's gloss all across. I don't know if you saw what I was doing, but it goes basically from here all across my bridge of my nose and all across here, and it gives that really almost sunburned, dewy, fleshy, natural look that I love. But it's like a hyper natural look. I'm into it. I'm gonna put my usual soap in my brows with this spoolie. I can't remember if I like said everything that I wanted to say. Oh, I remember something I wanted to tell you because it's sitting here right before me. I am drinking this, I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of hard on me. You see that green liquid in there? It's matcha, but that's not all it is. Actually, I'll go get them and show them to you after I do this, after I put the soap in. But it's this company that I discovered through my friend Jenna, who's a naturopathic physician, that is called Clever Blends. And it's basically like a latte drink mix. And they make a matcha one, which is the one that I first discovered because I really love matcha. And the thing that intrigued me the most, that made me want to try it, is that they have, well, first of all, Jenna was telling me how unbelievably amazing it is and how like energized it makes her feel and nourished, because it's like a matcha latte, but it's got all of these nourishing ingredients in it. All right, brows on point. Let me get the little things to show you. Okay, so here's the one that I'm drinking. This is the one that I started with when I first ordered it. I just ordered this one because Jenna had told me about it, and I really love matcha. So it has the matcha, it has like oat milk and coconut milk, and that's what makes it into a latte, but then it also has ashwagandha, lion's mane, reishi. I feel like the reishi, which is I believe a mushroom, is what Jenna was really into about it, like the kind of feeling of like focus and nourishment that comes from that. And then it has probiotics in it too. So I just feel like when I drink these, I feel, oh, so then I ordered, okay, so then the next time I place an order, this has been going on for months and months, I don't know, because I make it last quite a long time. There's a big scoop in there, but I find that to make one that's like really tastes good and feels good to drink, I only need to use half a scoop, so I kind of make it last a lot longer than they say that it should last. But the second order I bought both the matcha one and the chai latte one, and then the third order I bought all three because there's also a coffee one. So when I feel like I really need to focus, if I'm doing a lot of writing work, or if I feel kind of foggy in the brain, I always use the matcha one. When I feel like I need to have like a lot of physical energy, I use the coffee one. And when I just feel like a crummy little worm crawling through the ground and I just need like comfort and love, then I drink the chai one. So I've loved having all three of these, and because I have three of them, they're gonna last now forever and ever. Because again, I think that there are supposed to only be 14 servings in a bag. I definitely can make one bag last a whole month. So this is like months and months supplies for me. Anyway, I wanted to tell you about it because they're great, and also because it's like this isn't sponsored, by the way, I'm sure that you can tell because I'm just like blabbering on about it towards the end of the video. But it's a small independent company that was started by two cool people who really believe in the product, and they were trying to create something that was like the perfect balance of ingredients that wasn't on the market yet. So I just think that like that's the kind of thing that's worth talking about on my channel. Quite apart from the fact that I really, really love it, there are a lot of foodstuffs that I really like and use and drink and eat and think are great, but I feel much more motivated to share about one on my channel when it is created by an independent business. So I'll link Clever Blends down below in case you feel like checking them out. The only thing that I don't like about them is that they're sweetened. They're sweetened with monk fruit, which I think is supposed to be like the mildest or like the most natural of all of the available sweeteners. So there's no sugar in them, and there's not even stevia in them, which is great because I can't stand the taste of stevia. But I just prefer things to be unsweetened, and I am fine with drinking unsweetened coffee, unsweetened tea, unsweetened matcha. I really wish they would make an unsweetened option because I just feel like I function better when I'm not like constantly tempting my sweet tooth with sweet things. Even if it's not sugar, it's just the feeling of having a sweet treat. They're not overly sweet at all. Like if they were too sweet, I wouldn't be able to drink them. But if they were unsweetened, then that would be true perfection, like holy grail. But I like them enough and I feel like good enough from drinking them. It's like different enough from just having regular coffee or tea or regular matcha that it's worth it to me to make the sacrifice of ingesting some monk fruit so that I've kept on buying them. So pretty into Clever Blends right now. All right, what else are we doing? Oh no, I'm not done, because the whole reason that I even conceived of this sort of neutral look is because I've been really into my Bobbi Brown crushed lip color in Bare once again. Let me put it on and then we can talk about it. First of all, it's nourishing. I have a lot of nasty dry skin on my lips today, and it's like one of those days where I can't really exfoliate it off. It's still too connected. It's so gross, but I just feel like my lips it's like a lip balm kind of day, you know? But I want lip color, and so this is the perfect in-between. I just feel like the color is so, I don't know, like natural rosebud. Like there's something about it. It's very My Lips But Better, but in this kind of like bitten, flushed way. I'm really into it. Are we done? Is that it? Did I chit chat get ready with you? I think so. I'm probably gonna take my hair down for the video, but I'll keep this top on in my video. So you'll have seen, if you watched my new makeup releases from yesterday, you'll have seen how this turned out for the video. And then I'm gonna go to work, and then I'm gonna go to the hotel and write brilliantly. Right? Right, Hannah?
Yes, Hannah, yes you are.
Oh, I forgot to put my mole back on. I knew I had forgotten something. I've been using this Persona, it's like the Persona eyeliner in brown. It's so good. And I did what I frequently do, which is that I put my mole back on with it, and then I put it on my waterline, my like lower waterline, because I don't know, frequently I like don't have the wherewithal to dig out an eyeliner and put it on my waterline when I'm doing my eye makeup, because as you saw, I just like go in like I'm finger painting and like stick everything on and then put on mascara, and then I'm like, I'm done. But then a lot of times when I do dig out an eyeliner to put my mole back on, I like put it on my waterline too as an afterthought. All right, that's it. I feel flushed and glossy and smudgy and like I might have slept in this eye makeup, and I feel energized and I feel better, as always, probably because talking to you guys peps me up, but also probably because I'm almost finished now with this mug of Clever Blends matcha. So on to the next video. Thank you so much for watching this one. I hope that you enjoyed getting ready with me, and I hope that you are remembering to take extra good care of yourself this week so that you can be the most effective version of yourself as you do your work in the world.